What's up, Peace Giant fans? Uh, I guess y'all are watching the Philly game. Um, doesn't look like Washington going to be able to pull it out. So, look like we got to look at Philly going to the Super Bowl again. I'm not happy about that, but whatever. I trying to do this mock draft. I promised y'all. So I'm trying to get it set up. Might be a little bit primitive, but we gonna try to get it in and try to see what's going on. This is the Giants not being able to get Cam Ward. My personal feeling, I think the Giants should trade back because we could get a lot more picks. We could get a lot more help, young help, and we're on a youth movement, brother. So I know Cam Ward is a great prospect. Shador is also a good prospect, but I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of getting best player available that can help us immediately, taking a quarterback later, and also being able to develop that young quarterback and stockpiling picks at the same time. So let's get into it and see what we could do. All right. So let's get ready to get set and let's do what we do. All right. So I'm here and we're gonna get to the players and what we have available. So these are our picks to the right here. And these are the players that we could select to the left right here. So let's get started and let's see what we could do. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a trade. And I'm doing this trade. Remember what I said, it's about getting draft picks. It's about getting draft picks that can help us because we got a lot of holes to fill and we need players that are going to come in, help us. Can't seem to get this right. Okay, there we go. And we're going to trade that. We're going to trade that. And we're going to trade that. So this right here with New England, it's a pick swap. We get their 3rd round pick and their 4th round pick. So they can move up one slot. So, and you're going to see, and I'm also going to do, I'm going to trade this 247 for, if we can do it, this and this. Okay. And we'll throw in that 247 just because, I don't want to pick too late. So that's what we did with New England. And you'll see all of the picks that we acquired later. Now we're going to make another trade. Now it's important to state that I want the Giants to trade one by one. I don't want them to trade, with one team. If they trade one by one, we can accumulate a lot more picks. So now if we trade with Jacksonville, who will want to move up, we get their 3rd, their 4th, and their 124. Now, right now it says it's a little too risky for them. So we're going to throw in the 7th round pick. And what do you know? We're able to do it. And we want their 142 also. So we throw that in. We sweeten up the pot with 154. We sweeten up the pot with the 144. And we got it. So we got 4 4th round picks and we moved up a spot for the 5th round. Now we trade again. I know some of y'all are sitting there and y'all are saying, oh man, like why are we going to do that? Why? When we could just try to trade up for Cam Ward. It's about getting picks, brother. It's about getting what the Giants need, and they need help. They need help in a lot of places, and this draft can help them with what they need. Now, as you see what we're doing, we're getting rid of those late round picks and we're parlaying them into early round picks. Okay? Now we trade back again. Now, this one is not ideal, so I'm going to skip that because the Giants don't ever trade with the Jets. So I'm going to skip that one. I know I said I want to do it in order, but the Giants don't normally trade with the New York Jets. Let's see. I think that's Carolina. I'm sorry. So that's Carolina at 8. Okay. Okay. So Carolina. Now we're going to trade with New Orleans. And when you see what I'm doing, you'll actually start to understand and you'll be like, whoa, the Giants are able to answer a lot of questions if the draft worked out like this. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because we're giving up the 124, but I want their 129th. So I'm going to sweeten it up and give them a 7th rounder for next year. All right, boom. Now, we have the Chicago Bears up next. Okay. Now, the Bears are a little bit grimy because they don't like to give up shit. So we might skip the Bears, and I think we might go straight to the 49ers. Okay. Because, like I said, I don't want to skip too many teams and then it's just one deal, you know? There. So it's 2 late rounders, and then we giving up 3 early rounders. I like that. And then we also get a 6th round pick for 2026. Okay? So we do that. Now, if you look at, we're all the way down to 11. All right? So let's see how this plays out. Shador, Cam Ward, Will Campbell, Travis, Jalen Milroe, Luther Burden, Abdul Carter, James Pierce, Simmons, Banks. Okay. So right now, we don't need to make any more deals. We don't need to make no more deals. All right. So if you look at what the Giants, what they say we need, they say Will Johnson. But I'm going to go the route of Mason Graham. Okay. Now we continue to draft. And they're really running. Let's see what we got here. Now, Will Johnson is a good player. I'm a Will Johnson fan. Of course, I'm a Michigan fan. So I love Will Johnson. But, you know, now some of y'all are going to sit there and be like, whoa, the Raiders drafted Jalen Milroe. Relax. There's a plan. There's a method to the madness. Now, right now, the Rams offering us, I don't know about that. The Falcons are offering us a pretty good deal, but I don't know about that. And the Bucks, I don't like that at all. So, right now, we got Shamar Stewart on the board. We got Josh Connerly. We got Arante Ursary. Cam Williams, Jack Sawyer. But we have Siobhan Revel. I'm going to take Siobhan Revel. Siobhan Revel is a tall corner, good speed, good back pedal. And he fills a need. Okay? Remember, fills a need. Best player available. That's what we're doing. Now, a lot of y'all are, snapping on the fact that we're not taking a quarterback, that we're not taking offensive linemen. But this draft is heavy with offensive linemen. It's pretty decent with linebackers. The defensive line talent is there, but it's a big drop off. That's why I took Mason Graham. Because Mason Graham is going to come in, play next to Dex right away, play next to Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns, and that's going to be rough for quarterbacks to handle, bro. Rough. Rough for an offensive line, mind you. So that's... All right, just turn that back on. We don't want that ad. I don't know what that is. It's a charging outlet. Okay. All right. The Patriots are offering us a second. That's pretty good. A second and a sixth rounder. And what's the other offer? But we're not really gonna go for any offers right now. We want to draft players and we want to draft talent. So at number 65, I say we take a Jackson Dart. All right. Now we get our quarterback. Now this is under the provision that the Giants do go get a bridge quarterback, which I think they're going to do regardless, whether they take a Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe, or whomever. I think they're going to definitely take a bridge quarterback. Now, look at our selections coming up. Boom, 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 boom. We have the 73, 74, 75, 77, 88, 93, 99. Look at all of these picks we have in the top 100, bro. Look at this. Like, this is serious. Now, if we go with running back, whoa. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting right there. Caleb Johnson is there on the board. Caleb Johnson, I don't know if y'all watch college football, but Caleb Johnson is a beast, bro. A beast. And that's a guy that you can put with Tyrone Tracy, platoon him, and you have your thunder and lightning duo. Caleb Johnson's about 220 pounds. He's a beast. Quick feet, good balance, excellent blocker, which is very key. He's a good third down pass blocker. But you also got Cameron Scatterbo. You got Quishon Junkins, who's a little bit smaller. Trevion Henderson, who's a little bit smaller. Let's check out wide receiver because Malik needs help. So there's some guys there that I definitely got my eye on. I got my eye on Torrey Horton, Kadon Prather, Pat Bryant, Jalen Noel, Kyron Lacy. I love him, but Kyron Lacy has some legal issues, so I don't know if the Giants are going to go that route. But let's see what the sim says. So the sim says we should take these guys. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. But, and you also got some edge rushers here, which is very good. But I think we could get some quality edge rushers later. I like Caleb Johnson. I think he fits with what we're doing. And I'm going to take Caleb Johnson. Now, some of y'all are sitting there and y'all are bugging right now because y'all are like, oh, my God, we didn't draft any offensive linemen. What is he doing? Hold your horses. Calm down. It's coming. It's coming. You still got a lot of good offensive linemen here. And remember, we need offensive linemen that can come in and be backups. Because it looks like the Giants are still going to run with Evan Neal at right tackle. They're hoping that Andrew Thomas comes back. So we need another tackle and we need a swing tackle because we want to keep Jermaine Illuminor inside at guard. So that's very important. Very important. So now when you look at what we can do, if this ever works, okay, there it is. We got edge rusher. I love Kyle Kennard from South Carolina. I actually seen him play. He's a game wrecker and he has a constant motor. So I'm going to go with Kyle Kennard. Now, if you look at what we're doing, we're drafting guys that can come in and compete for starting jobs, minus Jackson Dart. They could come in, compete for starting jobs, and or give us quality depth at the same time. Okay? Very important. Very important. Now, I like this guy. I like Tej Johnson from Oregon. He's a quick guy. He can get downfield. He runs like a 4.4. He's a little bit thin, but he's a guy that can get downfield and can stretch the field. And he can open up things for Malik Neighbors. Now, the question is, do you feel that Theo Johnson, Manhurts, and what's the white guy? The other tight end, Bellinger, are the answer? If not, then you're gonna look at tight end, and you're gonna say, well, Gunnar Helm is there. Mason Graham is there. Gunnar Helm is pretty good. He is pretty good. So I'm going to go with Gunnar Helm just because I don't know exactly what we'll do. And I think the Giants are going to look at maybe running some 2 tight end sets. So now if you go back, now we got pick 77. Okay. So now we're getting into the linebacker offensive line round. Now, if you look at it, we have 77 and then we don't pick again until 88. Okay. So you have offensive linemen here. You have offensive linemen there. What do? I think you go and I think you take a wide receiver right here because I think you have to start looking at getting Malik Neighbors some help. So I'm going to take Tej Johnson. Okay. So we're going to take Tej Johnson right there. Now, the Rams are offering us a 4th, a 6th, and a 5th. I don't really care about that 6th round pick. The 4th round pick would help us. Definitely. The Redskins, no, I'm not doing no trade with Washington. I'll accept that. They took Zy Alexander. Okay, that's good. Now the Ravens are offering us a 4th, a 5th, a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th for next year. Okay. Buffalo, no, that's too far. That is definitely too far. They are throwing in the 2nd round pick though, but nah. Okay. I think we could deal with the Ravens. So that's a 3rd rounder, a 5th rounder, and a 6th rounder. Okay. So we'll accept that. All right. Now, okay. So we have 91. Oh man, we got a ton of picks, brother. Ton of picks. So now we can afford to gamble and take a linebacker right here. Carson Schlesinger is a dog. He is a straight dog. I like him. I also like Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss. So I'm gonna roll with Carson Schlesinger. And now whoa, Andrew Makuba is there. Nice. Now, I really like Maxine Hook. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", about 200 pounds. He runs a clean 40. But if you know about Andrew Makuba is a hitter. He also plays the ball real well, but he is a hitter. And my guy went back to college, which is Rod Moore. He went back to the University of Michigan. So I'm going to take Andrew Makuba here. Now, you're still saying to yourself, oh my God, he didn't take any offensive linemen. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's coming. It's coming. Just trust the process, brother. Trust the process. All right. Look at that. You still got a Johnny Cornelius there. You still got Ernest Green there. You still got Anthony Belton. All of those offensive linemen haven't been picked. Charles Grant is still there. Jared Wilson. You still got Jake Majors, who I love at center, because I don't know about John Michael Schmitz. I think he's going to be a good backup. I still don't know if he's an actual starter yet. But when you say picking at 99, pick 99, right? And you're walking away with a Johnny Cornelius, who I love, who's got the size and can play both tackle positions. All right, we're not entertaining that trade because that's just ridiculous. Now, we got 4 picks back to back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now, we already addressed a lot of needs already, but I'm definitely going to go Charles Grant because he is a bull on the inside. Nope, that's too late. So I'm not going to entertain that. We already got our running back, so we don't need Scatterbo. Denzel Burke will give us some good depth, but we don't really need him right now. Like I said, I love Kyron Lacy, but I think Bobby Okereke might be a salary cap casualty because I think he's due to make $16 million this season after he was making $6 million last season. So he's got a big balloon payment. So this is under the premise that Bobby Okereke is not going to be there, or he's going to be a casualty cut because he's not gonna take a pay cut. You know, dudes don't just take less money. So I love Kyron Lacy here though, brother, but with his hit and run and I think the Giants are just going to stay away from that. So I'm going to take Chris Paul Jr. Just because he gives us flexibility in case they do something with Bobby Okereke. Now, if we look at the other tackles that are on the board, you still got Ernest Green, you still got Anthony Belton, and oh wow, you got Garrett Dellinger, Jared Wilson. Wow, still got some good guys on the board, brother. But I think we need to solidify the offensive line, and I'm gonna go Ernest Green, and I'm gonna go inside because we got to get younger. You know what I mean? We have to get younger. And I'm going to definitely, I like Garrett Dellinger, but that's a little too high for him. So, Howard Cross is there. That's nice. That is definitely nice. But I think we're going to go the wide receiver route, and we're going to take Caden Prather because the wide receivers are starting to get thin right now. These are more slot, quick guys. We need a guy that could go over the middle, keep Malik on the outside one-on-one with a corner, and let him do what he does. Sorry about the blurry, but we're going to get it cleared after we make these picks. Then y'all will actually see what the grade is and stuff like that. But just be patient with me. See, Kyron Lacy is still on the board. Kyron Lacy is a talented dude, man, but that that hit and run thing, ooh, that I don't think that could have came at a worse time. I really don't. And I my heart goes out to the family that was, involved, and, him, and that's just messy. Messy. Right here, I'm going to go out and say, you know what? We're going to take Braden Swinson because we need an edge rusher, especially if Kayvon slides. I know we got Brian Burns, but, this is just going to give us some insurance. Now, here is where it gets interesting, okay? I know some of y'all are sitting there saying, oh my God, no, he's not going to do it. Yes, I am. Okay? Our kicker is old. Graham Gano is old. He's getting hurt a lot. And if you look at the leg on Andres Borregales, this young man can kick the ball. I think he had a practice kick with the win, but it was 73 yards. Okay? That's why this guy is ranked where he's ranked. And I'm going to take him because I think the Giants are going to be looking to move on from Graham Gano. And I just think they're just going in a different direction. So right now we have 4 picks left, right? Yeah, we have 4 picks left. So now it's all about BPA, brother. All about BPA. It's all about best player available. And a lot of these guys that are going, teams are picking them for depth and stuff like that. But we already filled those positions because we drafted guys high and we was able to get what we needed at the end. So, I mean, you still got Ashton Gillette, Danny Stutzman, Dalen Everett, who's a pretty good corner from Georgia. You still got Kyron Lacey on the board. I mean, wow. That's, and I think that's how he's going to slide, unfortunately, because of the hit and run, bro. I mean, Kyron Lacey was probably going to be a 3rd round pick, maybe. Definitely a 4th rounder. And you could say a team might reach for him because of his size. He's 6'3". He's well over 210 pounds. He's got great hands. You know them LSU receivers. So, I mean, wow. Now, this is where we're at. So, we have our interior linemen. We have 2 offensive tackles. So, what do we do now? So now we draft best player available. So now you can draft on need. Because it's the late round for us. And what do you know? You still have Garrett Dellinger there, and you still have Jake Majors there. Wow. So, now we could go safety, because we need a safety. But I think the Giants are going to go for Julian Blackmon, and I think they're really going to go hard for him this year. So I don't know if they're going to take a safety, but let's just say for the sake of argument, I mean, we have Andrew Makuba, so we really don't need one. We could use some cornerback depth help just because for people that are not sold with Deonte Banks, I think Deonte Banks is going to be good now because he's going to definitely be the 2 and Siobhan Revel is going to be the number 1. So, there's, Quincy Riley is pretty good. Jabbar Muhammad. All right. I think we could stay away from that, really. I'm going to go back to interior linemen. And I'm going to take Garrett Dellinger. Because I don't know what the Giants are going to do with Aaron Stinney. And, that's going to... So now, if you look at the Giants right now, and you say this draft came out to play, and they keep Andrew Thomas, you got a Johnny Cornelius and Ernest Green. Both of them could play left and right. So just in case, Cornelius is more of a left tackle, but he can play right. Ernest Green has played left and right. So, that's going to help the Giants, especially if they do end up moving Evan Neal on the inside. You're going to need a right tackle, and then you're going to need a swing. And to be honest with you fellas, I got to take Jake Majors here because Jake Majors has center and guard experience, but he's a hell of a center. And he's definitely going to push John Michael Schmitz. So we're going to review the draft later. I think we have one more pick. 2 more picks. Oh, wow. Okay. So we got 2 more picks. And you can't always go with what the computer says. You have to know your team a little bit. And by doing this, the Giants don't have to go and spend all their money in free agency for a guard and a tackle. We have guys that are serviceable. We have guys that can play. We just need them to stay healthy. So if these dudes could stay healthy with the young guys that we're bringing in, we will be fine. We answered the wide receiver bell with Tej Johnson, and we got Caden Prather. That's going to be serious, bro. I like that. We got Gunnar Helm. We got Caleb Johnson. We got Jackson Dart. And we kicked it off with Mason Graham, bro. Linebackers are set. If Bobby Okereke is a salary cut casualty, we have Chris Paul Jr. We have Swessinger. Both of them could play sideline to sideline. And Chris Paul can also rush the quarterback. So, you could send him on blitzes. And he's a little bit faster than Micah McFadden. Micah McFadden is more of a downhill thumper. Chris Paul is more of a cover guy that can also rush the passer. So that's key. Look, these are all positions that we drafted already. So, right now we just drafting and filling needs. They're offering a 3rd and a 6th for next year. Wow, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Well, let's see who's on the board. All right, we got Jeffrey Bassa. Now, I like Kyle McCord. I really do. I like Kyle McCord. 177. Oh, wow. Quincy Riley is still on the board. I like Quincy Riley. I mentioned his name before. I think he's a good corner. And I think Quincy Riley will provide some depth. Ooh, well, let's see who we got. I think wide receivers is pretty much done. Yeah, Antoine Wells, Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah, I think that's about done. You got Fadel Diggs. Got Jeffrey Bossa. Jeffrey Bossa is more of a linebacker rusher, so he's more of the Kayvon Thibodeau type. I don't know where my stylist is. Okay, there you go. I'm going to take Quincy Riley because he's a good cover guy. And, he'll give us some depth in the secondary. And especially if Andrew Phillips gets hurt, he can play that nickel position for us. And as you see, that was a good rating on that. So, if you look at our ratings for this draft, you're really going to be pleasantly surprised. It's a couple of grades that I didn't agree with, but I guess that's the name of the game. And then what we'll do is we'll take my guy at quarterback, and if Jackson Dart doesn't work out, then we can run Kyle McCord. And if Kyle McCord doesn't work out, quarterbacks next year are going to be rough, bro. I mean, you're talking about, and I'm not even talking about Arch Manning. I'm talking about Garrett Nussmeier. I'm talking about Nico Amaya from Tennessee. Arch Manning in Texas. You're going to have Carson Beck coming from Miami, who left Georgia. You're going to have the kid over in Arizona State. You're going to have some serious dudes, bro. So it's going to be some quarterbacks next year. So we don't have to fret, man, and waste all our picks and trading up and all of that. And you're trading up to sit a guy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I know you people are wanting Carson, Cam Ward, and Shador, but there's more to a team than just the quarterback, and the Giants need more than just the quarterback. A quarterback isn't gonna put them over the top. Put it that way. All right, got Riley Leonard. I like Riley Leonard, but the guy that's on my board that I've been watching, oh, he's gone. Oh, fiddlesticks. Ain't that something? Dang, they wound up taking him. That was dirty. That was dirty. Okay. Well, we could take Riley Leonard. He's a running quarterback. So right now the Giants draft is done. Okay. So if you look at our draft right now, sorry about that. This is getting a little funky. Okay. So look at that. We got Mason Graham, Siobhan Revel, Jackson Dart, Caleb Johnson, Kyle Kennard. We got Gunnar Helm, Tej Johnson, Carson Swessinger, Andrew Makuba, Ajani Cornelius, Charles Grant, a C+ for Chris Paul. I don't agree with that, but that's fine. Ernest Green, Kadon Prather, Braden Swinson, Andres Borregales. I don't agree with that. A C+? No. Garrett Dellinger, Jake Majors, Quincy Riley, and Riley Leonard. Now, you mean to tell me that if the Giants have a draft like this, they're not going to be an improved team? You're really going to tell me that? Everything is answered. Everything. We got a quarterback, hopefully a developmental guy. We definitely got a backup quarterback in Riley Leonard. I know some of y'all are saying he started at Duke. What happened with Daniel Jones? But, you know, he's going to be a backup. And that's what Daniel Jones should have been. But Garrett Dellinger, he's going to compete for a starting spot. Everybody that we drafted is going to be competing for a starting spot. Everybody. And that's what I think needs to be stressed, is everybody's going to be competing for a starting spot. And this is our draft, fellas. This is our draft. We got Tej Johnson, who, in my opinion, is more explosive than Wan'Dale Robinson, and he can run deep. Kadon Prather is a possession receiver. He's going to come in and get those 50-50 balls. Hunter Helm is a great blocker and a good catcher out of the tight end set. Kyle Kennard, nonstop motor. Caleb Johnson, straight beast. Jackson Dart, developmental quarterback. Siobhan Revel, starter. Mason Graham, starter. You know what I mean? Who's going to want to block Mason Graham teamed up with Dexter Lawrence? Like, are you serious? Carson Swessinger, he's going to compete for a starting job. Definitely give backup depth. Andrew Makuba, he's probably going to be our starter. With Justin Pinnock leaving, he's probably going to beat Dane Belton out as the starting safety opposite Tyler Nubin. Johnny Cornelius gives us depth. Charles Grant gives us depth. Ernest Green gives us depth. Braden Swinson gives us depth. Garrett Dellinger, Jake Majors, Quincy Riley, and Riley Leonard. I'm happy with it. And if you look at these ratings, the only rating they gave us that was suspect was for Chris Paul and for the kicker. Everything else was A's and B's. So, I mean, and let's look at this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We got 20 picks, and we also have an extra third rounder, an extra fifth rounder, and 2 sixth rounders for next year. Now, you really unhappy with that? I don't think so. So let me know. All right. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I did. What questions you have, comments, like, subscribe to the channel. Tell your family and friends about it. I told y'all we was going to put a draft together. I did it on the fly. This wasn't rehearsed. Because I tried to make it as realistic as possible. And I feel that what the Giants need to do is trade back one team at a time instead of making a trade with the Saints or making a trade with the Bears. Trade one team at a time to maximize your get back of draft picks. You know what I mean? And teams are going to be desperate to move up. We're going to be desperate. We could be desperate to move back, and we can really parlay this and make this work for us, man. And this will help us in the long run. Now, you talking about we going to have 180 million in 2026. And if this draft comes to fruition and most of our players are on rookie deals, are you crazy? You know the team we could put together? Man, y'all better start thinking, man. Y'all better start thinking. Everybody thinking short term. Oh, go get T. Higgins and go trade for Tyreek Hill. No, bro. Build through the draft. Be smart. Build through the draft. Build your team up. And then you add free agents. Free agents are icing on the cake. Then you add free agents. Let me know what y'all think. I would love to get your comments. So I hope y'all reviewed it. I hope y'all liked it. And I'm looking forward to y'all comments. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We got to get the viewership up. We got to get more people on this channel. And I want to keep putting out content for y'all. So do me the favor and tell people about the channel. And I'm going to keep doing what I do. All right. Love y'all. Peace. Have a good night.